I never got your take on this. Do you think, I realize you can't diagnose somebody you haven't evaluated, but from what you've seen, do you think this is a Parkinson's situation? Because, the White House, of course, kept saying, no,
Right.
but we don't trust them.
So here's how we teach medical students about Parkinsonism. We show them videos of people with Parkinsonian features. And you could easily show President Biden's video as an example of these Parkinsonian phenomenon. Okay, Parkinsonism, different than Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease obviously causes Parkinsonism, but many things cause Parkinsonism. In his case, it's freezing. You see him, he always freezes with his hands up here. It's more motoric slowing. It's waxen or mask-like faces. He has difficulty showing expression on his faces. It's narrow, festinating gait. He has all of this. That's just a fact. He has Parkinsonism. He has Parkinsonian features. The only thing we don't know, and no way I can diagnose, is what is causing it. Now, when a physician sees Parkinsonism, he or she runs through a list of possible causes in our head. So in this case, could be Parkinson's disease, could be his previous neurosurgeries, which he's had 2 for aneurysm, could be something more serious like Alzheimer's or Lewy body dementia, could be vascular dementia, could be something obscure that we've not really thought of, or it could be medication reactions even. Sometimes medicines can cause Parkinsonism. But to say that he doesn't have Parkinsonism is simply factually false. So when we hear that this Parkinsonian expert went to the White House and didn't see the patient, didn't see the president, my question is not, did he see the patient? Why the hell not? What are you doing? That you have a Parkinsonian leader and you don't let him see an expert in the condition he has? What is wrong with you? And what is wrong with the press, in the press pool, for not going, why didn't he see somebody? It's obvious to anyone watching what these things are. You're telling me you're refusing to allow this man to get treatment? Now, one fear I have is sometimes the medicines for Parkinsonism can affect cognition. And I'm wondering if they're struggling when they try to think about treating him with, oh, geez, can we use these medications sufficiently to relieve some of his symptoms? And you do see his facial expressions start to come on sometimes, which suggests that he is taking something, Mirapex or Cinemet or something, but it can affect cognition and judgment.
Wow. So you might not want to give your candidate that before a debate as opposed to before a teleprompter speech. Because one is just reading, but the other you actually have to use the wheels.
Exactly right. And I think that's what happened. I think that's, and by the way, another feature of Parkinsonism is hypophonia, where they can't create their voices, they can't create volume in their voice, and mumbling, that's part of it too. It's all Parkinsonism. Now, may or may not be Parkinson's disease. I don't know. I have not evaluated him. I don't know what's going on. But any video, if any second-year medical student could not identify this as Parkinsonism, as I saw one neurologist on TV say the other day, that medical student would be remediated immediately because that's a fail. And so it's that simple. Now, the causations is a whole other problem. NBC.
All right. Now, this is not about medical diagnosis. By the way, that just FYI for listeners at home, the man we're talking about is still the sitting president of the United States. Just FYI. We still have no idea what's wrong with him, whether he's in command. War appears to be escalating in the Middle East. Don't know who the commander-in-chief is. Secondly, Kamala Harris running to be commander-in-chief. This we know. And it occurred to me, since you're so good at understanding, yes, obviously medicine, because you're an MD, but also just people. Could you explain to me why she, up until 8 days ago, was infamous for answers like this? What is she doing in these word salad answers?
I am meeting with a lot of folks, and the work that we have begun is the work that is going to be ongoing. There is no question, and I said this from the very beginning, that our approach to this issue has to be with a commitment to a long-term investment, and it has to be a commitment to consistency. The United States has to be consistent. There were times when we were more engaged and we saw good results, less engaged, and we can see where the work and the partnerships then deteriorate. So I am committed to ensuring that we engage in an active way on the root causes, on addressing the cause and effect, and also being partners in the Western Hemisphere, understanding that we have a responsibility, and if we ignore that responsibility, it will visit itself upon us in a very domestic way. So thank you.
Oh my God. Help me, Dr. Drew.
Megyn, I'm so sorry. I am as bewildered as you are by this.
got nothing.
All I know is that she is not a good public speaker extemporaneously. That is for sure. And you could see her that she's not a good, well, listen, I don't know her, but the thinking is not good. The thoughts are going from one thing to the next. And it may all just be because anxiety, because she doesn't know how to speak extemporaneously. She better learn. It's weird because she does seem to sort of do better on the debate stage, and she certainly is interesting when she's
prepped.
interviewing another person, but when it's trying to express an idea, it is wow. It's just, I don't know what that is. And this is the extraordinary phenomenon of Kamala Harris, which is 5 minutes ago that was her with the cackling laughter. She was sort of a joke, and then the media campaign and the propaganda kicked in, and I am gravely concerned about propaganda in this country.
Yeah,
the fact that we
same.
used to have anti-propaganda laws and that we undid all that is very concerning, and we need to really look at that. But the propaganda machine kicked in, and all of a sudden she is the Messiah. She's Cleopatra, and maybe we were wrong about her. I don't know, but I don't know that this is right. It all seems disingenuous, and I spent a lot of my day just going, I just don't know what is going on. I don't believe anything in the press, anything. I'm sorry. The mainstream media, I have no idea if what they're telling me has any connection to reality whatsoever.
You shouldn't. Can I tell you, when I listen to her, she reminds me of the way you feel when you have low blood sugar and you just kind of ramble and you don't land your point. You're kind of like,
well,
what did I
it's
say?
why people, yeah, because your brain isn't working right in that circumstance, and that's why people have speculated. Was there a substance here? How do we understand what this was? I mean, it seems so hard to understand how somebody who is a high functioning individual, an attorney general, a prosecutor, how is this the same person? And I got to admit, I feel that way too. Go ahead. You tell me.
I was just going to say, it's very clear. I mean, look, people want to say it's a sexist attack on her. It's a fact that she slept her way into San Francisco politics with Willie Brown, and he was 30 years her senior, and he certainly did pave her way into her two paid positions where she made bank and then helped her win as San Francisco DA. And I'm sure it didn't hurt even in that race that she was black and she was a woman in California, and then got elevated by the same machine to the position of attorney general, and then got elevated by the same machine, California, which values this DEI thing greatly, to U.S. Senator. And then Joe Biden explicitly said, I'm going to pick a black woman. That's how he got the nomination, by promising Jim Clyburn he would do that. She got elevated once again to a position that, let's face it, doesn't generally require that much. And now here she is telling us that she's qualified to be leader of the free world. In these crazy times, there's peace of mind in security. Security for our country, security for our leaders, and security for our families. But think about this. You're not financially secure if all of your eggs are in one financial basket. Gold and silver can be an amazing way to diversify your savings as a hedge against inflation. They are a physical asset that's in high demand globally. And through Birch Gold Group, you can own physical gold and silver in a tax-sheltered retirement account. Yes, you can diversify an old IRA or 401k for no money out of pocket into an IRA in gold and silver. Just text MK to 989898 and receive a free, no obligation info kit and learn the role precious metals could play in your overall savings strategy. Again, text MK to 989898. Birch Gold has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands and thousands of happy customers. Text MK to 989898. Message and data rates may apply. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.